Welcome to World Finance Brief. Today, we're tackling a huge question. What in the world is going on with PayPal? I mean, the stock has been absolutely hammered, investors are heading for the hills, and the headlines are just brutal. But here's the thing. Is this a classic sinking ship? Or maybe, just maybe, is this one of those hidden treasures that everyone is overlooking in the panic? We're going to break it all down, so stick around.
To really get a feel for the chaos, you have to hear this quote. It's pretty visceral. This is what one analyst said when the stock just plunged. It just paints this picture of pure, unadulterated panic, right? You can almost feel it. Investors are so freaked out, they're just dumping their shares. But that little last part, guess who will be buying it? That hints that maybe, just maybe, the smart money sees something everyone else is missing.
And this is why they're panicking. 80% down. Since its peak back in 2021, PayPal stock has collapsed by 80%. That is a brutal drop that has wiped out a staggering amount of value and completely shattered confidence in a company that not too long ago was a Wall Street darling. So you gotta ask, what on earth happened?
Okay, so let's get into the meltdown. Why is everyone running for the exit? What went so wrong that it sparked this massive stampede? Well, it turns out it wasn't just one thing. It was kind of everything, all at once. A real perfect storm of bad news.
So you've got a brand new CEO, Alex Chriss, who basically walks in the door and is immediately hit with a wave of bad news. Bam, earnings and revenue miss expectations. Then, bam, they put out a weak forecast for the future. On top of that, their main business, that branded checkout you see everywhere, its growth is slowed to a crawl. And all the while, you've got these giants like Apple, Stripe, and Google just chipping away at their business. Yeah, it's a textbook recipe for panic.
So yeah, it looks bad. An open and shut case, right? It seems like a total disaster. But what if that's not the whole story? What if all this fear and panic is actually blinding people to what's really going on behind the scenes? What if there's another story entirely?
And this is where it gets really interesting, because right now, there are two completely opposite stories about PayPal. On one side, you have the market, screaming, "Get out, the ship is sinking." They see chaos, competition, and decline. But then you've got this other group, the contrarians, who are whispering something totally different. They see a company that's practically printing money and using that cash to buy itself on a massive discount.
All right, so let's dig into this other side of the story. This is the contrarians' bet. And it all revolves around the new CEO, Alex Chriss, and a very specific strategy, a playbook that was used with massive success over at another tech giant, HP.
So what is this HP playbook anyway? Is it some kind of secret tech? Nope. It's actually dead simple, and that's what makes it so powerful. Instead of chasing the next shiny object, you take the mountains of cash your company makes, and you just buy back your own stock. That's it. You take shares off the market, and poof, the ones that are left become a bigger piece of the pie, making them way more valuable.
Okay, so let's break it down. 3 steps, super simple. Step 1, keep making billions in cash. Check, PayPal's good at that. Step 2, use that cash to buy up your own stock, especially when it's on sale like this. And step 3, by doing that, you make every single share that's left over worth more. It's a pretty straightforward and powerful idea, right?
Okay, so this playbook sounds good in theory, but does it actually work for PayPal? Well, this is where we get into the math behind the bet. The folks who are bullish on PayPal right now, they're basically saying, look, forget the scary headlines for a second. Let's just look at the cold, hard numbers. And it really all starts with this one giant number, $6 billion. That's how much free cash flow PayPal is expected to generate this year. We're talking about the cash left over after all the bills are paid. It's pure profit they can do whatever they want with. And that is the rocket fuel for this whole buyback strategy.
And if you think that $6 billion a year is impressive, check out their war chest. They're not just making that money every year, they're also sitting on a $14 billion pile of cash reserves. I mean, that is some serious financial firepower to work with.
So what could they actually do with all that money? Well, get this. With the stock price so low, they could potentially buy back and just erase 15% of their entire company's shares in a single year. That's a huge reduction that could have a massive impact on the value for every shareholder who's left.
And this is where that earlier quote really hits home. Math is still math, you know? The market can get emotional, it can freak out, it can panic, but numbers don't lie. That's the core of the bull argument. Eventually, the simple, powerful math of the buyback has to win out over the fear.
Okay, so the math is pretty compelling, I get it. But it's never that easy, is it? It's not a guaranteed win. There are some very real, very serious risks here that could totally derail this whole thing. So let's flip the coin and talk about the risks ahead.
Here's the big but in this whole story. You can buy back all the stock you want, but that doesn't fix a leaky boat. And PayPal has some leaks. Their main business is slowing down. You've got Apple and Stripe breathing down their neck. The company itself has admitted, yeah, we haven't been doing a great job. And their big swings at innovation, they've kind of been a whiff so far. Plus, people are just spending less in general, and that hurts everyone in this space.
So there you have it, two completely different ways to look at the exact same company. One based on financial engineering, the other on business fundamentals. So what's your call? Let's weigh the evidence.
Let's put it all on the table. Bull versus bear. On one side, you have the bull case. It's all about the math. The massive cash flow, the huge buyback plan, the cheap stock price. It's a powerful financial argument. But then you have the bear case, which is all about the real-world business. The slowing growth, the tough competition, the past failures. It's an operational argument.
So really, it all boils down to this one critical question. Is this whole buyback plan a stroke of genius? A smart, disciplined way to use cash and create value when your stock is in the bargain bin? Or is it just a distraction? A fancy financial trick to prop up the stock while the actual, business is struggling to innovate and keep up?
So what do you think? Sinking ship or hidden treasure? I really want to know your take, so drop a comment below and let's get a discussion going. And hey, if you enjoyed this kind of deep dive, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more coming your way. Thanks for watching.